Hello student, we have studied yesterday introduction to parasitology. Today I will take classes of host because we have studied Platyhelminthes, phylum Platyhelminthes and Nematohelminthes. Parasite means those who are depend on the others, host. They cannot be prepare its own food material and not survive independent. That is called as parasites. That parasite live in the different types of host, and that host, that is main is first host is intermediate host. Sometimes two intermediate hosts are present. Two intermediate host and one definitive host, and some parasites are one intermediate and one definitive host. Classes of host. Definitive host either harbors the adult stage of the parasite, or where the parasite utilizes the sexual methods of reproduction. Classes of host. Definitive host either harbors the adult stage of the parasite, or where the parasite utilizes the sexual method of reproduction in the majority of the human parasite infections. Man is the definitive host in malaria and hereditary diseases. However, man acts as the intermediate host. Man and other vertebrate animals are the intermediate host as well as definitive host also, and adult worms live in the definitive host and larval forms live in the intermediate host. Intermediate host harbors the larval stages of the parasite. In some cases, larval development are completed in two different intermediate hosts, which are the referred to as the first and second intermediate host respectively. History: the date and the year in which parasite was first identified, and any important discovery and knowledge regarding it. Intermediate hosts are one or two intermediate hosts, that is cyclops, fishes, pork, all these intermediate hosts, and cattle also, buffalo, beef, pork. Those human beings ingested the non-veg or meat of any animals, in the tissue larval forms are there. To not properly cooking the food at that time, larval forms or eggs coming in the body of host, definitive host or man, and that larva to develop an adult and permanently live in the definitive host. Geographical distribution. Environmental factors, social customs and habits of person greatly influence the Distribution of parasites according each parasite has got specific distribution. Each parasite having specific distribution. Geographical distribution means different types of locations, different types of parasites occurring or found in the body of host, intermediate host as well as definitive host. Habitat means those parasites to live in the body of host, that is called as habitat. Each parasite according to the mode of existence selects a particular place of abode in the host. The parasite, after entering into the body, may establish itself in the place where it introduced, or the parasite on entering the body through particular route. That is, different types of routes to entering the parasites in the body of host. That is, some example, some trematode parasites. Larval forms live in the water. Eggs discharges in the water. At that time, 5 types of larval forms develop. First is Myriacidium larva. That Myriacidium larva develop and that egg hatching out, and that Myriacidium larva swimming in the water. At that time, snail is there. Snail is the intermediate host of trematode parasite. That Myriacidium larva enters the unbroken skin of snail and enters the body of snail, and it develops the further stages. That is, first is Myriacidium entering in the body of snail, and second stage is sporocyst, third stage is Rhedia, fourth stage is Cercaria. Cercaria larva of trematode parasites that develop, and that is the infective stage. Cercaria larva is the infective stage. That Cercaria larva comes out from the body of snail and swimming in the water. Body of snail पासून बाहेर येतो आणि swimming in the water to search the definitive host. At that time, some peoples have going towards the water area and some bathing and wading. At that time, that Cercaria larva, unbroken skin of that person, enters in the body of man and circulate through the blood vessels and live in the blood, and it develop in the adult worm, that is called as Schistosoma hematobium, live in the blood vessels of the human or man. That is the route of larval forms to entering in the body of host. That is called as route. May travel through various organs till it reach its normal abode for its growth to sexual maturity. In some cases, the larval form, the parasite, after getting into its normal habitat, does not develop directly into adult worm but takes a circumrutous path and an arrival for the second time at some place starts growing a maturity as in the case of Ascaris lumbricoids. The parasites in some cases may grow to maturity its normal site of localization and then may migrate to suitable site. In Nematohelminthes, some nematode parasites. That nematode parasites, Ascaris lumbricoids, Ancylostoma duodenal, Enterobius vermicularis, all these nematode parasites live in the body of host and discharges eggs. That eggs, along with fecal matter, comes out from the body of host. Man, host means definitive host is man, and that eggs laid on the soil. At that time, some incubation period, that eggs hatching out, and first larva, rhabditiform larva comes out from this eggs, and that larva molding process takes place and it develop into filariform larva. Filariform larva is the infective stage, and that larva also enters in the body of human beings. But sometimes at the time of eggs laid in the soil, at that time some children's playing in the ground, at that time that eggs along with soil contaminated hands or fingers to ingest the food material. At that time some eggs enters in the body of children's, and that eggs enters in the body of intestine of children's and man, and it develop into adult worm, that is Ascaris lumbricoids. Majority Ascaris lumbricoids infection nematode parasite, that is called as in Marathi janta. That type of parasites live in the intestine of man or children, and it develop adult worm and permanently live in the body of man and to suck the blood also, and that children's deficiency of hemoglobin also occurs and causing hemophilia disease. Transferred to a second host as in the schistosoma, or it may be discharged its larva schistosoma or in the discharged larva, which are carried to some distant places either to be taken up by an intermediate host as an Wuchereria or remaining insisted. The strips muscles as a trichinella sites of such location will no doubt in idea about the pathogenic effects and channels through which the progeny may be out of human host. Wuchereria bancrofti. This Wuchereria bancrofti, that is the causing disease called as elephantiasis, and its larva is filariform microfilarial larva, and its intermediate host is Culex male or female, Culex mosquito. That microfilarial larva at the time of elephantiasis disease person, that mosquito bite and to suck the blood, at that time that microfilarial larva present in the body of that patient and comes in the body of mosquito colleagues, and that infected mosquito some stages develop in the body of mosquito, microfilarial stages develop, and that larva, that infected mosquito to bite the another healthy person. At that time that uh, microfilaria larva enters in the body of healthy persons, and that person also having or causing the disease that is called as elephantiasis disease, that is called elephantiasis, and that nematode parasite is Wuchereria bancrofti. Other Trichinella spiralis, Enterobius vermiculus, all these are the nematode parasites. All these parasites live in the host, body of host, and ingest the ready-made food material from their host. They cannot be prepared own food material, to cannot be survive independent life. That is called as parasite. Parasite means totally depend on the other host. Okay, thank you. Next topic tomorrow.